Well, good day. Well, good day, everybody. Getting to social media, the story of Colonel David Rudom, who his story. He usually go to an area in the Yosemite National Park in the mountains. He usually go to an area in the Yosemite National Park in the mountains in front of his eyes, and he makes claims that they were actually after him himself. But somehow, told the story more real, which happened before Roswell. But because of the media and social media, Roswell is the more popular story. It's that's just the way it works. A lot of people in the UFO community will only pick stories that have been chosen. That's just the way it works. A lot of people in the UFO community will only pick stories that have been chosen. And it's like all the lakes at that time are dried up. I mean, it's really harsh. Sing something, nothing like hey, we're close. So David Rudom decided to camp. Like, he's gonna camp on his own. He's gonna leave the camp spot. He's gonna go way out there, like the middle of nowhere, in this camping area, and just camp out. Now, my brother, Dr. Wu, said, "Oh, no, I'm going with you. You can't go by yourself. This is dangerous land." Now, my father, Lawrence Wood, said, "I can't leave." Now, my father, Lawrence Wood, said, "I can't leave." They went, and how the story goes, as David explained in the night. Now, David said that they were all sleeping. But then David said, he was telling us that he like woke up, his eyes wide open, but he couldn't move. He said he was frozen. He said he was able to move his head like slightly. He saw Dr. Actually, it was like it never rains out there, but it rained a little bit that night. It never rains out in this desert area, but it did. He said a few drops came through the tent. He said there must have been a hole and like hit him on the head, and somehow it like woke him up, like not woke him up, but got him out of his trance where he couldn't move. So, and he saw this, and he said he tried to wake up Dr. Wu and Lawrence, and they wouldn't move. They wouldn't wake up. He said, no, he was telling him, he was shaking them. They wouldn't move, and he saw the lights coming there closer, and he heard like this landing, like I don't know, like I guess a UFO helicopter distortion sound making this noise, and he couldn't move. So he actually got his weapons. He got his rifle, and he got up. He said he went outside the tent, and he said he saw. He can't remember exactly how many, but they came out of this ship. According to him, they came out of this ship, and they went towards them. And then he said, and then he heard like little steps running. So he actually start running off. It's like what the hell's going on? Like taking off because they're coming to the tent. He said, according to him, he said he was being chased because he was startled. You got to understand, people. You know, at that age, in '87, he was probably. I'm trying to think of the age, because in '87. I was, let me see here. Hold on. Because now it's daylight. And according to him, he said Dr. Wu and Lawrence was on the ground, not in the tent, outside the tent. There was almost like he said, he was describing like they were drugged, like they didn't know where they're at. They couldn't move. So he went over there and woke them up. According to him, he said that you were talking about like they had this bad nightmare dream that something happened to them, but they didn't know. And he said he wanted to tell them on what just happened. And he said he wanted to tell them on what just happened. He joined as an enlisted. He joined as an enlisted man. He did his college. Talk to the media. He's like, no, fuck the media. I ain't talking to the media, because as soon as you talk to the media, people talk to the media. He's like, no, fuck the media. I ain't talking to the media, because as soon as you talk to the media, people, they were, the stories were the military with the government. They were, the stories were the military with the government. A lot of them are allowed to see. And since he himself was in charge of a lot of satellites, he got to see books of sightings and things that they always put in, unidentified. They don't know what it was, but the thing is, they knew what it was, but they weren't going to tell the public, because you all know the military. Not the military. You all know the government don't trust the public to know the truth, because in their eyes, the people can't handle the truth. That's the thought process of our government, and it's not exactly the military. The military just does what the government tells them what they can say and what they can let the public know. So, in about 2016, David just retired from the military. Or no, I'm sorry. He was getting close to be retired. So he was in Washington on vacation. Him and Dr. Wu went to Victoria, Canada. It's the Vancouver Island near BC, and there were all they're on a trail where David opened up to Dr. Wu and told him what he saw and what his story was. And David was shocked when Dr. Wu was telling him, I felt something went up. I felt lights. I felt. So he's like some of the lights, how he explained it, was exactly how Dr. Wu was saying that he saw. Now, at the time, Lawrence passed away. He was no longer with us, so he couldn't try to get, basically another witness to say exactly what he saw with the lights, to say, look, 3 people. But unfortunately, when Dr. Wu was telling him on his experience of what he saw, what he remembers, and he said he thought he was just had a bad hangover or something, that this is not true. But Dr. Wu was talking to him about how him and his father talked about how it was kind of weird that they had the same kind of dream. So take it with a grain of salt. Like I said, a lot of hardcore people in the UFO community, they know the story. But again, it wasn't a story that even it's told. I have a 6-minute documentary. I don't know if I want to call it documentary, that I made on this story in detail on the channel, on David Rudom's experience, on what he saw with this alien abduction. And to this day, Dr. Wu gets weird markings on his body. He says sometimes he sees flashbacks. So again, I know these are stories, and UFO. Well, first of all, UFOs, unidentified flying objects. I mean, anything can be a UFO, but anything that deals with an alien abduction, I know it's hard to swallow for a lot of people. Because a lot of people don't even believe that there's life even out there. There's life beyond this planet. That part, to me, is crazy. I don't know how anybody could think that this little blue planet is the only planet that has life on it. I mean, I guess I can see it. There's people who believe that the world's flat. So, I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, it is what it is. And again, if you ask my professional opinion, you know, I can't verify that story. I wasn't with them during the camp. Now, I was in another camp spot near them, but I don't remember seeing any lights that night, but we could have been sleeping. Now, my cousin Daryl said that when he went outside to take a leak, that he did see like lights and stuff far away, but he did, you know, in his mind, it's a regular plane, a helicopter, so he didn't really think nothing of it. But now when you put all the pieces together, wow, something did happen out there. What was it? What did happen? Now, this is the interesting part. David kind of explained the craft almost like the famous UFO that happened on Mary Island in Washington, like the shape, the part of the 9 UFOs that was spotted by Mount Rainier. I think it's all connected. I think everything is connected. I think what happened at Mary Island, what happened at Roswell, and what happens to a lot of these are from the same alien species, I guess you could say, from their same planet. It's again, I can't tell you guys, you awesome people, if you know, I'm sorry, it's just hard to come out with the words, because I know a lot of people only believe a story if it happens to them. Unfortunately, we live in that world. Unless something happens to them, it doesn't exist. Or they want to be blind and they don't care. And again, it doesn't matter to me if people believe it or not. But like I always say, I just wish that people can at least have an open mind, right? Can have an open mind about the possibilities. You know, and then when you start hearing people's stories, now we all know 90% of all alien abduction stories are fake. We know that. I'm not deaf. We're not dumb. We know. But the 10% is what we like to dig into, trying to find out the truth. Because there's tons of alien abduction stories. But the question is, why, right? I mean, that's the $1 million question, right? If you yourself believe in alien abduction, what's the goal of the alien abduction? Is it for them to study us, to find our strengths and weaknesses? So if they ever decide to take over this planet, they know how to defeat us easily? Or are they just curious? You know, kind of like, let's go back to Star Trek, where in theory Star Trek is about going to other planets, exploring new life, but you're not supposed to interfere. Is that what they're doing? There's something. There's truth to this stuff. Again, I know for a lot of people, a lot of this is hard to swallow. But my friends, UFOs from other planets, they're real, people. I'm telling you right now, they're real. I'm not telling you to go out to believe every story that you hear, but people, they're real. We have been visited, we are being visited, and we always will be visited. But what does that mean in the long term? What does that mean? Now, to give my professional opinion on the matter, if my opinion matters at all to any one of you, I believe that they are just stunning us. But they're not ready to have communication with our leaders yet, because I feel they know that the biggest threat to this galaxy, this planet, is ourselves. I think they know that the human race on planet Earth is one step away of destroying themselves. Not even protecting their planet against other planets, that we can't even protect ourselves. Civil wars all over the place. It's just, we, the people on this one planet, think about it, all of us on this planet, we can't even get along. We got walls. So and to me, an alien race knows this, because if they have the technology to be able to get here, then they have the technology to watch our news channels, to listen to what people are, the technology to watch our news channels, to listen to what people are saying. They got that kind of technology. You know, it's not like they're flying here in buckets. So they know that we're not ready. And that's what I truly believe. The aliens race know the human species is not ready yet. And then the question is, when are we going to be ready? And that I don't know. You know, we're run by greed, corporations. If an alien ship comes, the first thing on a corporation level is, how do we make money off that UFO that just landed? How do we distract that DNA from the aliens so we can make money? How can we get, it's all about money, 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 money. And it's not even about true science. Learning to be friends with neighbors. Like I said, the David Rudom story is just one of thousands of stories that are out there. And again, it's hard for us. I said this from the beginning of the show today, that majority of the people only pick the stories that, I hate to say it, that the media has already played and picked out. I'm sorry to say that. I hate to say that people follow what CNN, Fox, stories that they give them. It's like a lot of people cannot think outside the box. They can't make decisions on themselves. They need decisions to be made for them. And then they're ready to jump on stories like David Grosh, who doesn't even have any first-hand information. It's all second and third-hand information, and people are ready to jump on that story, right? This is the problem. This is why David Rudom doesn't talk to the media. Because the David Rudom doesn't talk to the media. Because the difference with Rudom doesn't talk to the media. Because the difference between David Rudom and a guy like David Grosh, sure we understand that there's more UFO alien abduction stories than we think. We gotta get rid. And I was in the military. My father was in the military, and I'll tell you that the military look at Jimmy Corbell as a joke, because he is. That's all he is. He is a joke. There's nothing truthful on what he says. But that's just the way it goes. So take it with a grain of salt. And again, let me just tell you all, have an open mind. Okay? Have an open mind. That's all I ask you. Have an open mind, because the truth is out there, but so are lies. Okay? Lies are out there, but the truth is out there. All of us talking to each other, we're going to find it one day. We will. Just hopefully we find it before we have to leave this planet. Unfortunately, because we are getting old.